All right, Oval fans, last night was season 5, episode 9, Better Than Revenge. But even more important than that, this was the 100th episode of the Oval. So, congratulations to the show for making it to triple digits. Now, despite the celebratory, just the mood last night, I gotta say that overall, I wasn't really pleased with the episode. I'm going to be completely honest here. This episode just was not it. It, in my opinion, was easily the worst episode of the season so far. And, I hate to say it. I hate to say it because overall, season 5, in my opinion, so far, the past 8 episodes have been pretty solid. Not perfect, but they've been a major upgrade from season 4. But yeah, this just wasn't it. But I will say again, thanks to BET and the Oval for sending me that top secret presidential suitcase. I know I posted a short about it yesterday in celebration of episode 100, but don't worry, I'll do a video going through everything in the briefcase probably today. But hey, I think during the live stream tonight, when I talk about sisters, I'll probably, show what was in the case there too. So don't worry, you'll know the details soon enough. But I just wanted to get that out of the way because this episode just was pretty dull, and I'm giving it a 3 out of 10. It's kind of funny because I saw some people in the community tab on my YouTube channel because I posted just a brief, and I mean a very brief, like, hey, congrats on 100 episodes, but this just wasn't it. I give it a 3 out of 10, minus a couple of scenes. I didn't really care for the episode. The first 20 plus minutes just were very dull. Things didn't really kind of pick up until Simone met Priscilla. Jason calling Victoria, which I think that we all kind of saw as the cliffhanger ending of the episode. And from there, Donald, apprehending Officer Healer. But, even though the episode did have a moment of some action, it felt a bit forced. When Max was beating the crap out of Manny, it's like, well, I don't really see the need of that because it would have been different if, let's say, we saw Sam interrogating him first and, like Manny tried to put up a fight. It just felt completely forced into the episode for the sake of, well, we need to have some action so this episode isn't a complete snooze fest. But before getting into the breakdown, please take a moment to hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video, hit subscribe, follow me on social media, links are in the description, and hit the notification bell and select all because, well, you want to make sure you're aware whenever I post content on the channel. Now, yeah, I mean, a lot of people have said, I quit the Oval, nothing really happens, it's just Jeremy, I watch, you, Ruthless TV, and a couple other people for your reviews, but overall, it just doesn't do it for me. And just like I said before, season 5 has been relatively good. However, for the 100th episode, I kind of feel like this episode encompasses everything that people who have quit the show, every reason why they've quit the show. All right, so as I feel like anybody with a shred of common sense figured out, Kareem wasn't really shot. It was kind of a warning shot fired at the back of his head as opposed to him getting shot directly in the skull. And like I said in my short I posted and on Twitter, I did live tweet. And just to kind of show you how the Oval compares, or just should I say pales in comparison of sisters, I tweeted, but while watching the episode, I'm like, man, there really isn't nothing to tweet about. And then on top of that, none of my tweets, wait, how many of my tweets actually got more than like 10 likes? I think one got 13, one got 18, and the biggest one got 43, but that's only because it's a photo from one of the TV Line articles from a few weeks ago, actually a couple months ago, of Priscilla and Simone sitting at, Simone's house drinking wine and bonding over their cheating husbands. And yeah, because I said, who knew a new pair of besties would be formed by Victoria's affairs with Priscilla and Simone's husbands? Because people don't really, I don't know. I haven't live tweeted since the season 4 finale. And I see why. Because it's the 100th episode. I said, okay, I want to celebrate BET, hook your boy up. Let's live tweet. And then I actually live tweeted, and I'm like, this is why I don't live tweet, because nothing really went down. Okay, yeah, so Kareem not being shot, as I said, we had Bobby at the beginning of the season. I'd say about 2 or 3 episodes ago, we had Hunter, firing rounds into Alonzo's chest. And now we had Alonzo firing around at Kareem. That's 3. And within the span of 8 episodes, you had 3 episodes ending on a cliffhanger where somebody got shot or got shot multiple times. And then at the beginning of the following episode, oh, well, they're actually alive. Oh, Sam used rubber bullets. Hunter aimed for the vest. Alonzo aimed, directly behind Kareem instead of at Kareem. This was, no, just please stop. Please, because now it's like the next time something, you can't say 3rd time's a charm because we've already had 3. So the next time an episode ends with somebody being ran over by a car or shot, multiple times, we're just going to say, they're still alive because we've seen it all before multiple times in the same season. See, House of Pain, when BET, kicked up the reboot, we had 3 seasons in a row that ended with a character, quote unquote, dying. Thankfully, season 12 didn't do that. I mean, you had, what's her name? Laura leaving Calvin and Calvin Jr. walking out or something. But at least nobody, quote unquote, died. The first season, oh, did CJ die in an accident at work? Oh no, the plane's going down. Did something happen to Janine? The food truck exploded. Is Curtis all right? No, don't do that anymore. We don't need that anymore. So the Oval, please, please, please do not end these episodes with somebody, quote unquote, dying only to, be brought back or, safe in the following episode. And I know it seems like I'm going on a tangent for like the first 8 minutes of this video, but I want to be honest with you. If I didn't, this video would probably be like 7 minutes long because there's nothing to talk about. So Kareem, who I gave props to last week, I've never really been a big Kareem fan because he's kind of a tool. But I mean, it was kind of cold of him saying, I'm not giving my cousin up. So hey, do what you got to do. Shoot me. And then when Alonzo got ready to shoot him at the end of the episode, we saw that tough facade go away. And now this dude's shaking and unable to compose himself. Now, to be completely fair, I'm not going to stand up here or sit here talking about Kareem like I will be able to compose myself. But at the same time, it's like the Kareem at the ending of the last episode compared to the Kareem at the start of this one is just, night and day. It's like, okay, it's kind of like Nick Fury's demeanor in Secret Invasion versus the Nick Fury we saw in the Marvels. But I just feel like this scene just kind of dragged out. Now, after the gunshot went off, Agent Kane came in and saw, to ask everything okay. Hunter told him everything's fine, just, doing some practice. And then he tells Kane to leave, and, that's it. So from there, he just chastises Kareem, tells him to call himself an idiot and a wuss. And they get his phone and call up Antonio Hill, because yes, he gives up his cousin, and there's no answer because I joked online. I'm like, it's just like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Kareem's trying to use his lifeline to phone a friend, but his friend isn't picking up the phone. So from there, Kareem is taken to the bunker to get a drink and calm down because Hunter says, look, why are you shaking? And I'm like, Kareem, to be fair, if a gun went off right behind your head and somebody's threatening your life, I'm pretty sure you'd be shaking too, because it's like my life could be done in any moment. But yeah, Hunter wants Alonzo to take him down to the bunker to give him a drink to calm down, because when Antonio gets on the phone, he better not blow it. But the thing is, didn't Kareem, when he was still in the hospital, didn't he tell Antonio that they needed to meet up somewhere to discuss, the situation in order to fix it? So why is this now like a new revelation. I mean, it would have been different if Kareem was like, well, yeah, I was supposed to meet my cousin, but your guy here scooped me up from the hospital. And it's like, well, now your ass needs to calm down, because if you go to meet with your cousin and you blow it, then you're dead. So, that would have worked better in my opinion. And yeah, he's taken to the bunker. And then, Alonzo acting all hard and stuff and like, knocking Kareem upside the head, where he's like, man, and I'm just sitting there, because when he was shaking and Hunter was yelling at Kareem and Alonzo was like rolling his eyes and all, and I'm like, man, you were acting just like Kareem like a couple episodes ago. Don't act like we forgot. Like just acting like you brand new. Shut up, Alonzo. I don't hate Alonzo. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay, so Agent Kane, goes downstairs, and Max and Bobby ask, like, what the heck is going on? What are those gunshots? Target practice. And then he just kind of walks off. So from there, Max and Bobby, they both kind of question the shootings, because, man, that's the second time we done heard something like that. And then they talk about, or they speculate about the First Lady and Eli having some sort of affair going on, and question, well, what about the second lady? What do you think she knows about this? And do you think she's able to come up with something? So basically they work to, they pretty much like agree, like, we got to get these people out of office. It's like, man, the last time we tried to do that, what happened. Yeah, but we got to do what we can. So, and this scene was like, yeah, this is kind of showing me what kind of episode this is, where we're going to recap a lot of what we already know. So I guess you could say that Max and Bobby, once again, I guess you could say, solidify their desire to blow the top off of everything. So we go over to the kitchen, and Richard and Priscilla, Richard runs in, like, did you hear that? The gunshots. And Priscilla's, acting like a panicky, like, I don't know. I don't want to just say panicky woman, especially after what she says to Richard later on in the scene. But, they're both kind of frantic, because Priscilla's like, we got to do something before they kill something else. And this scene kind of reminded me, oh yeah, aren't they supposed to be like CIA or something like that? But that was mentioned in like season 2 or 3, and it has not been a relevant plot point ever since. But from there, I'm getting sick and tired of this. And what did she say? Because we're just like, look, I know you want to do something, but we can't go about it right now. I'm trying to think. Well, I'm getting sick of your logical thinking. And Richard's like, well, I'm getting sick of your emotional thinking. Is that because I'm a woman? That line just, I don't know. It just, it's kind of like Tony and Sisters last week. I need to take my belt off and whoop your ass. It's like, nah, man, just, it doesn't work. And thankfully, Richard called out Priscilla's like, don't play that card with me. And then he apologizes. And I'm like, what the hell are you apologizing for? Because Priscilla has been a load since season 2. Just blah, blah, blah. I'm sick of this job. And then Richard's like, well, why don't you quit then? They ain't running me out of here. Either quit or shut the hell up. That's really what it boils down to. But, the conversation shifts to Richard being, I'm sorry, I'm just worried about Barry. Well, we'll find him, Richard. Well, yeah, I went down to, and then he gives her an update about the whole thing about, I went to the morgue because they told me to identify a body, but it wasn't Barry. But then that cult guy said that they killed him, so I don't know where Barry is. Yeah, spoiler alert, I actually looked at some season 5 information, actors access details from a long time ago, and Barry was actually kidnapped by some random person. Yeah, so it wasn't necessarily him being, Barry isn't dead. So from there, so, hey, have you called Nancy about it? And then Richard gives her the cold look. Oh yeah, that's right. You don't want to talk to her. Could you please call her for me? Yeah, I will. So, Priscilla actually calls Nancy, and Nancy's like, well, Richard, what's wrong with Richard? He hasn't been answering my calls. And Priscilla beats around the bush, but then it eventually comes out that, yeah, you kind of said some things at the hospital while you were loopy about you and his father and, him wanting to end the relationship as opposed to them just having a one-off affair. And Nancy's like, yeah, it's true. I wanted to be with him, and he, cut it off before Richard got back from the war. And she confirms, yeah, it's true. And Priscilla's like, oh no. And Nancy's like, I'm coming down there. This isn't really a good time. I know you can't tell me why it's not a good time because I know it's secret, but I'm coming down there to talk to my husband. All right. So I wonder if Priscilla's going to give Richard any warning about that, or if she's just going to pop up. So we go over to the Oval Office itself, and we got, Victoria, Simone, and Eli, and Victoria's telling Eli about the whole thing. Oh, me and your wife squashed it. It's okay. We're just going to move forward. But of course, she's taunting Simone about sorry, yada, yada, yada. I'm sorry to gloss over it, but it's a lot of repetitive dialogue. But simply put, Victoria acts like everything's cool. Simone does the same without, Victoria going to throw shade because Victoria's going to throw shade. But then Max comes in saying that, Mr. President, we need to move you for safety reasons. Why? On two separate occasions today, we've heard gunshots coming from the president's room. And Victoria's like, wait, what? What's he doing up there? Well, I was told that he was conducting target practice. And then Victoria's like, the MFer is doing target practice? And then Max says, yes, the MFer is doing target practice. And Victoria's like, what did you say? Well, I'm just repeating what you said, ma'am. So Victoria rushes upstairs and sees Hunter about his behavior. And simply put, the dude is just paranoid and dead set on figuring out who messed up the drug situation. And Victoria is rightfully pointing out, you did this to yourself, because regardless of what, the drugs were laced with and who did what, you're the one who decided to take those drugs when you shouldn't have done it. But Hunter doesn't want to hear it. He's going to get revenge because he's the president or whatever. And yada, yada banter about, oh, if I had a gun right now, why don't you stand over there and I'll do some target practice with you? Same old, who, whatever. So, we actually have Simone telling Eli she's going home, and, because Eli has a lot of work to do, obviously, because, Hunter hasn't done a damn thing since he's been in office. So, Eli has a bunch of meetings to go to and whatnot. And, Bobby's going to take, Simone home, and he does check in with his wife, like, hey, are we okay? And she's like, yeah, we're okay. Because, there's still seeds of doubt in her mind about, the affair. So from there, Eli steps outside to tell Max to, hey, when's the last time you've actually had some rest? And yeah, that's a very good question, because especially Sam, but, Max and Bobby, they're always, on the run trying to figuring that out. So they really haven't had rest. Not to mention, if I'm not mistaken, they had to pull a pretty late shift, if I remember right, because when Eli got sworn in, they had to go right back to the White House to, keep watch. So, yeah, it's been a while. But you could tell Eli's planning something, because, yeah, when's the last time he just didn't want Max and Bobby around? Hey, Max, well, you clock out and contact Bobby and tell him the same. And have you seen Sam? No, sir. Well, if you don't know if he has the day off or not. But next time you contact him, tell him to contact me. I want to talk to him. So from there, Simone is being escorted out by Bobby, but stops by the kitchen real quick to talk with Priscilla, because she sees Priscilla walk in, and, she gives her a hug, and basically they start to bond, because I know how you feel about that, bitch upstairs sleeping with, our husbands. And, she makes it clear, like, look, I got, some powerful people on my side, and we need to kind of link up in order to bring down the first lady. So let's meet at my house later today so we can compare notes. So this is going to be the beginning of a beautiful chocolate queen friendship. Now, whether or not it brings the administration down, I have no idea. So we make a quick beeline right back to where we left off at Alan's apartment. Kyle walks in. Remember last episode, you got 8 minutes to get ready. Then he just pops in impatient. He sees Dale there and it's like, I don't like this. Something's going on. There's nothing going on, Kyle. He's staying here to help me cover rent, which honestly is a bit of a good alibi, considering that Ellie did live there with Alan. So obviously they split rent. So with Ellie dead, theoretically, Alan could pass it off as needing a roommate. But Kyle, it's hard to tell if he knows or if he feels something's off because these two are in the apartment together, like they're plotting something. Or if it's a jealousy thing, because, Kyle actually likes Dale, but Dale backed off the moment Donald tried to have him killed. So, from there, Kyle steps out and, he makes it clear to Alan, like, hey, watch your tone with me. You know who I am, right? Yada, yada, yada. So then that's it. He gives him 2 minutes to get ready, and that's about all there is to say about that. So Victoria gives Donald a call, and one, there's no word on Jason. Two, Donald, makes it known that hey, I know about your little thing with the VP. And three, Victoria's panicking because she needs Donald at the White House there immediately because Hunter is just, going completely unhinged, shooting people or shooting at people. And Donald makes it clear, hey, your boy Toy, he booted me from the White House, so I'm not allowed to be there. And I need you to here to babysit Hunter right now. Hey, well, talk to your boy first, and then I'll see what I can do. Look, you come down here now, I'll take care of Eli. Fine, okay, yes, ma'am. So then from there, we get Max at the box truck, and he gives Sam a call before entering, let him know he's in there. And then he calls Bobby about, Eli wanting them to step away from the White House for a while to get some rest and to meet up with him and Sam later on. But he actually is dropping off Simone at her house, and before Bobby, can leave, Simone once again tries to talk to him about, did you know about the affair? What do you know, Bobby? I need you to tell me everything you know so I can figure out what's what and we can bring down this administration. But of course, Bobby isn't budging. And then Simone tries to seduce him. And look, I ain't gonna lie. All she did was, kind of lick her lips, bite the side of her cheek and, play with his tie. I would have folded like a lawn chair at a family reunion. But, Bobby, I'm surprised Bobby composed himself so well. Probably because if you remember, the last time Simone wanted Bobby on a personal detail, she chewed him out for being a bit too touchy-feely. Like, yeah, when you help me out of the car, I don't need you to then proceed to put your hand above my waist as I walk. And, I'm not attracted to you in the least. So basically, that would have been his reasoning for, okay, well, ma'am, the way you're trying to come on to me now, it doesn't really matter. Because remember when you took me off your personal detail before. But I guess it's because now Simone is trying to fit everything together. She needs to get every chess piece on the board in her position to bring down Victoria's side. But, Bobby, again, isn't budging because if I remember correctly, I don't think Max or Bobby genuinely know about the affair. Hence why earlier in the episode, they're like, do you really think the first lady has something going on with Eli? I don't know. Maybe Simone knows something. I don't know. But yeah, it's just one of those things where Simone just tries to say, well, hey, my husband's the president now. He's in the Oval for, who knows how many hours. And we got all this alone time and you're telling me you don't want me. And Bobby's like, I'm sorry, ma'am. So then Simone's just like, shut up. Yes, ma'am. So Max goes into the truck and talks with Sam about Manny and the fact that, he hasn't given up any information. He's been beaten up a little. So there's that aspect. And they make it clear, you could face a lot of jail time pointing a gun or a firearm at a federal agent. But, Manny doesn't care. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I mean, he's part of the Rakadushi. He's probably either seen, inflicted, or has experienced torture to an extreme that Sam and Max can't even compare to. They get a drill out, but it's like, nah, son, I've seen worse. But yeah, Manny honestly said everything he knew. Hey, there was this kid who looked like the first son in our area. We took him into the compound, fixed up his bike, and let him loose the next morning. And Sam confirms that, the kid did leave, but where did he go? I mean, he doesn't know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then Sam decides to leave because reasons. And Max proceeds to beat the hell out of Manny in order to get, well, not even get information out, just to unleash his own tension. Now, to be fair, if it was Kyle as opposed to Manny, I can completely understand this scene in context of, yep, Max is wailing. But watching this scene back, I'm like, I don't really care for it. And this isn't like, oh, Jeremy, we know you don't like to see a lot of violence and blood. No, it's not really that. Because honestly, I could take this scene because this ain't it is with BET Plus. Oh, I'm pretty sure we would have seen that drill, making holes all over Manny's body and whatnot. But Yeah, this scene really didn't do it for me. I mean, like I said at the beginning of the video, I felt like it was a bit forced into the episode for the sake of some action and tension, but it just felt completely misplaced. Like, if we saw Manny being cooperative, because he literally told Sam everything he needed to know, or should I say, he told Sam everything he knew when Sam had the gun pointed at his face in the last episode. So this episode to see him all banged up and down, I'm like, that just seems unnecessary. But then we get Officer Heller brought to Donald, and he's tied up and everything, and Donald has the golf club, and he's basically threatening him, and he's like, well, you wanted me dead, right? Well, you ruined my life. Well, hey, you know what? I'm not going to kill you just yet. Because Heller's like, hey, if you're going to kill me, then just do it. It's like, no. I got far worse plans than that. So he tells the agents at his house to, like, put this dude on ice because I got to go over to the White House and make sure my wife doesn't leave. So it seems to me like he's slowly going to torture this dude and make Lily watch in order to, erase any and all hope that you have that somebody's going to come to your rescue, which again, only adds more fuel to the fire of what I said at the beginning of the season. Why the hell did Lily come back to the house? I mean, to be fair, if they were able to catch the officer so easily, it might be fair to say they could have gotten Lily too. But at the same time, I don't know. It's just kind of forced. So he whacks him across the face with the golf club, knocks him out. Then the guards, take him away. And then the end of the episode is Jason calling, threatening to ruin everything, yada, yada, yada. And that's it. That's the episode. Usually my reviews aren't this long, but I just had to say that, it's the 100th episode, so I needed to, really give my thoughts to what the show brought to the table for the, what's it called? The Centennial episode? Centennial? Because bicentennial is 200. And, to be a bit blunt, I felt some of the acting was a bit off in the episode, too. I feel like you could probably point out which particular characters. I'm not saying any names, but I could think of at least 3 where I'm like, I don't feel like the performance was that strong. That's not to say the actors aren't capable, because we've seen them either in this show or other projects where they're able to project, what's the term? Emotion specific to the lines and the scenes they're in. But I feel like perhaps maybe it was just the script that was so weak that some of these actors really didn't have a lot to work off of. But yeah, like I said, I could think of 3 particular characters. I'm like, yeah, I could tell this wasn't their best, because this is the 100th episode. You'd think there'd be something bigger going on, but whatever. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think I was too harsh on the episode? A 3 out of 10 is just too low a score? Do you feel like a 3 out of 10 is the appropriate score? Do you think it's too high a score? But yeah, like I said before, again, congrats to the old 400 episodes. But this just wasn't a good show. Maybe next week we'll be back in good standing, if you will. But this week just didn't do it for me. So, with that being said, like and subscribe, follow me on social media, and I will catch you in the next video.